Hey Wyatt, past couple weeks, the team has had some really fun designed plays, some runs, some end around, some of them not executed the way you guys wanted them to, but that looked like they were blocked really well. I'm just wondering, how fun is it for you guys up front to be a part of those plays that get to set those blocks and get to open up the game in creative ways?
Yeah, no, it's a lot more fun than dropping back, 70 times a game. So we'll take any design runs we can get. All jokes, but at the end of the day, it makes the defense have to execute, their eye candy. At the same time, we have, guys coming out of the backfield, we have different looks. It's a lot of fun, it kind of keeps them on their toes. And if you execute those plays, they're usually pretty big.
Thanks.
All right, next we'll go to Ashley.
Hey Wyatt, just can you kind of talk about that last series and what's going through your mind as an offensive line and finally deciding to run there at the end and Kareem getting that score?
Yeah, coach always talks about shared situational awareness. I don't know how much was shared. Obviously, when we were going out there, we're like, let's run the ball on the first play and score a touchdown. But if you look at it, how much time we had, coach did the exact right way. We have to, kind of take care of those a couple, 20 seconds. If we can take that off the clock, it gives them less time to make a play. So it was kind of one of those moments we were all like, what do we do? Let's run the ball. And then all of a sudden we're like, oh, okay, that's why they're paid the money and we're not we're not a player coach because, obviously he's thinking, he's playing chess while we're like, oh, it's just checkers, you just go right here and, hit them and we score. Right. But that being said, he to run the ball on that fourth down, it shows that he had, faith in the offensive line. It was a little closer than I'd like, but if you execute those plays, those are the ones you remember.
I mean, just how confident were you guys as a line that you're going to be able to pull that off there on the end with that last run?
Yeah, well, that call was for both the looks that they give when they get inside the, kind of that 3-yard line, 2-yard line. They kind of get to that 6-1 look. So we were kind of, hunting up the 6-1 or the 5-3, whatever they were going to run. And they were in the 6-1. So, blast worked perfectly against it.
All right, next we'll go to Daryl.
Yeah, Wyatt, back to the begging coach to run the football there at the end. He finally listened to you. How good did it feel, though, to see Kareem be able to, push that across the goal line and your pleas to Kevin, pay dividends, and who ran over to the sideline and yelled at him, I told you so.
Yeah, no, I ran over there, even though he had the same mindset as me. He was like, "We're gonna run 13 blasto, don't worry," or whatever don't worry, Wyatt. We'll pull you. We'll get you your hit. Don't worry. But at the same time, it was, it looks risky, but at the same time, we were making, PJ was making smart throws. He had 2 or 3 times where, it's right there, right on the about to score, and we didn't, but then we got into that, goal line run, and Kareem, who usually jumps, leaves his feet to jump across the goal line, stayed down, stayed low, and tried to plug himself for an extra yard. So I appreciate that.
And we're back to a day-to-day situation here now with Deshaun being hurt. Could you touch on just the challenges of having to continue to deal with this as an offense, and your thoughts on how PJ Walker has handled things, being put in a tough spot, to have to play at a moment's notice here?
Yeah, no, I know that injuries are tough. I've never, I don't throw the ball, nor would I ever want to. In the NFL, I like to play right guard, but it's difficult. He's a leader. I mean, he's a great player. Obviously he's QB1, so we want him back. But he's day to day. I don't really pay attention to I'm not walking in and talking to Joe Sheehan. Hey, who's injured? I need to know everything. But there's stuff that goes on, and we all got to handle it and be able to deal with it. And that goes for PJ. PJ's he's a gamer, he's a dog, and I have all the faith in him. But whoever that quarterback is, we just got to be able to execute and win. And if that's 4, that's great. And if it's 10, it's great. If it's 17, I'm excited. You know what I mean? It's just we got to be able to execute and play.
All right, next we'll go to Tony.
Hey, Wyatt, boy, that hole for Jerome Ford on the 3rd play of the game looked pretty big. I wondered the adjustment in the post Nick Chubb portion of this season? Is it complete or is it still going on?
I
Nick?
think that losing a player like Nick, it's going to be a constant battle trying to run that ball. Nick, I've called him this before talking to you guys, but he's the human eraser. You can miss a block and he's going to make you right. And obviously, with Rome and with Pierre, all the guys that we got to run the ball, it's hard, man. That's why Nick Chubb is as good as he is. It's not hard, or it's not easy, but we'll be able to, if we can make a hole that's four yards wide, hopefully anybody can run through it. But yeah, that was a good play. Poe, I felt like I got a good push, but Poe stayed square, got on that backside linebacker and really, helped make that play spring. I don't even think Jerome was touched the entire play, which is says something about the hole, but and something about him, how fast he is. But if we execute, if we give him an extra yard, if we push just a little bit more, I believe that we can get believe that we can get the run game going.
And you did touch on the Watson question, but it seems the whole Watson situation is driving fans and media crazy. Why doesn't it drive the offensive line crazy?
Because that's our brother. You know what I mean? It'd be like, my baby's crying. He has an earache. Am I going to hate him? No, it's life, man. We all got to deal with it. We all got to roll with the punches. At the end of the day, Ford's different. He's a great player. And he can really, ignite our offense. I have all the faith in him. And same with 10. I mean, 10's making great throws. He's a field general out there. He's doing what he needs to do. And in the NFL, it's next man up. So, as much as, a family and a brotherhood it is, you got to be able to execute with who's ready to go.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Mary Kay.
Wyatt, Miles was talking about how he did the hurdle in practice, and you might have been asked about this yesterday after the game, but I didn't have a chance to run into you. So I was just wondering, did you get hurdled over by any chance in practice? And have you ever had that happen before? And just what do you think of that from Miles?
Yeah, no, Miles is an absolute freak. I mean, he has a 70-inch vertical. So, his ability to jump over the guard, especially a guard that plays low, in practice, I think when we were going over it, I was like, I mean, how low should I be? He goes, just don't pop up. You know what I mean? It's like at the end of the day, just don't pop up. You don't have to be too low to the ground because it's got to be like a game-like situation. It's executed perfectly. He hit square palm that ball. I mean, that's amazing. But yeah, no, I mean, 95 is the real deal.
And a quick follow-up, if you don't mind. I'm sure you've been watching the tush push, just wondering, what do you think of that play? And do you guys think you have it in you to execute it?
I mean, when it comes to any play we have, I mean, if we look at a certain play, I mean, it's offense, defense, special teams, and I kind of made this joke earlier, that shared situational awareness. If I was smarter than our coach, if I was smarter than the guys calling the plays, I'd be the first player coach, and I'm not, so I play right guard and I got to focus on my job. But, whatever the play is called, whatever it is, if it's, a trick play, if it's a, a simple run right play, we got to execute it. So when it comes to, how our defense plays, they play with their ears pinned back, getting off the ball and, lack of a better term, messing stuff up, it's imperative that, they execute, we execute. And if we play complementary football, it's a hard team to beat.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Scott.
Hey, Wyatt, you talked about how you guys are dealing with kind of that quarterback uncertainty. Do you see it taking a toll on Deshaun, though, not being out there with you guys and then kind of the start and stop of that return yesterday?
Yeah, no, I think that, every player, you'd be crazy not to want to be out there. This is, we're paid a lot of money, one, and two, we have, an obligation to our brothers to be out there and be at our best. And if you're not at your best, sometimes, I feel like even last year, I was playing through an injury that, I felt like, I could have waited one more week and maybe I would have felt better, but that's hindsight, right? Hindsight's always 20/20. You got to be able to take care of your body and be able to play in November and December. And, those are when, early season, it matters. You like to get wins whenever you can. It really helps you out in the later part of the season. But at the end of the day, we got to be able to make that stretch. And whenever that is, November, December, if we have all 11 guys healthy, that's, obviously 2 are gone. So 9 out of the 11 healthy, then we'll be all right. But if, we're fighting through injuries all year long and it's starting to, show its ugly head, then, that didn't help the team. So we got to be able to take care of ourselves. And, I think that, at the end of the day, it's nature of the game. Football is a very, rough sport. If you guys ever want to play right guard, I'll let you go out there for a play and see what it's like to go against Jordan Elliott in practice. But I promise it's not fun. So I'm out there and, I'm not passing the ball, so I could have any opinion, but at the end of the day, I'm focused on my job and focused on right guard.
Hey, real quick, did you see a little more juice out of 75 because he had missed a game?
Yeah, no, we made a joke that he was running down the field and he was like, I was like, how are you running so fast? He was like, fresh legs. I said, yeah, that's it's pretty impressive. He's a tough guy, same with Poe. Poe came off, a couple stuff over the, past the bye and, just shows you how tough that those guys are.
Thanks.
All right, we'll take 2 more. First one from Kelsey.
Wyatt, PJ was talking about after the game just how his comfortability level has increased, and I was just curious with you guys as an offensive line, like how you play a role in that with like just helping him feel comfortable out on the field, kind of commanding the offense.
Yeah, no, there's a couple times where, you'll get pushed. You pass the ball 20 times, there's a percentage that someone's going to miss a hand or they're going to swipe. Those guys are pretty dang good too. So to be able to sit in that pocket, not be afraid of the hit, make those throws. It shows you that he's confident with us, which we're thankful for. But also, he's willing to, take the hit to get the ball out. And, that's putting your body on the line. And, it's hard to play like that. Obviously as an offensive lineman, we don't get really any love unless if it's a bad thing. And then it's usually hate. But if we do get some love, that's a good thing. But, we're always trying to, the unsung heroes, we're always trying to, run around, hit people and make just an extra inch hole for the, whoever's running the ball or passing the ball. So, it's the same thing, at quarterback, you have a little bit more eyes on you, I guess. But, you got to execute, you got to play at a high level. And PJ's been doing that.
Have you had personal conversations, I guess, with him of just being like, hey, I'm here to to talk through things if you need it as he's gone through these adjustments at all?
Yeah, no, I think that, it's kind of unwritten. I guess I could go up to him and talk to him about that, but I think that he knows that I'm going to put my body on the line for him. And, I guess you do kind of take that for granted, but, we're all going to go out there. We're all going to make sure that we have the right scheme. I know that he looks across practice and sees the offensive line, absolutely drenched in sweat on a Friday, 2 games, 2 days away from a game, and knows that we're going to be doing whatever it takes to make sure that he's clean at the end of the day.
Thanks.
All right, and last one from Brendan.
And Wyatt, what's it like to play in a game that's got 8 lead changes that just feels like it's constantly hanging in the balance?
How did it feel for you?
It's about probably not as nervous as it was for you.
My brother, he goes, he said, gosh, that was a roller coaster. I said, yeah, it was a roller coaster for you. You were on the kiddie ride. I was on the big ride. Trust me, we're all going through it. We're all dealing with, emotions and, stress and stuff like that. And, that's why, this game isn't easy. You can have someone who has all the, tangibles, but, that intangible, kind of sticking to the, keeping your hand to the plow and, focusing on, everything that's going on, but also at the same time, keeping that focus on, execution, focus on the play, snap count. The fans are going crazy. You can't hear anything. You just got to be able to lock in and, execute, play at a high level.
And just one quick one on what you saw yesterday. Was there anything that surprised you from Indianapolis's defensive line, the way they tried to, to break you guys down?
Yeah, no, they did a good job. Those linebackers are legit. Those DNs, D tackles, they've got a really good front. But we went against a really, really good front last week, and we go against a really good front every single day in practice. I don't think we're going to go against many teams that aren't going to play their hardest ball. Everybody we go against, once we start winning games, it's just a target on our back. It's just a bullseye that everybody's trying to hit. So the more success you have, the more people are ready each game. That being said, our work's cut out for us. We have great players, but, we're going against a lot of good teams. And we just got to be able to go out there and, beat whatever looks they put out, whatever they think they're going to be doing. We got to be able to handle it and, capitalize on their mistakes. And I know our defense does it.
All right, that wraps us up. Thanks, Wyatt.
Thank you, guys.
All right, guys, we have Greg here. If you have questions, raise your hand and we will call on you. All right, first we'll go to Cam.
Hey, Greg, obviously came out with the win, but defensively, especially in that backfield, some issues tackling. What did you see out there, and how do you respond heading into this week with what you were able to do out there on the field?
Yeah, really, I just think we just got to play better. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. We got to find a way to get guys on the ground, keep our eyes true, and we just got to overall play better in the back end for sure.
How do you expect to address that, I guess, maybe in practice with Jim Schwartz now as the defensive coordinator this year? This is the first time we've seen some of those breakdowns really throughout the season. So how do you expect that to be approached in practice?
It's just sticking to the standard. I mean, I feel like we had a great week of practice. It just didn't translate all the way to the game. And I don't think we played a horrible game back there. We just gave up so many explosives, which is not in our identity. So, I mean, it's just really sticking to the script, going out there, keep practicing hard and keep trusting the process.
Thanks.
All right, next we'll go to Jeff.
Hey, Greg, after that 49ers game, you guys are talking like the boombox defense, all that business. How difficult is it to kind of like not get full of yourselves and play with that same kind of intensity you had in that 49ers game?
It's not difficult at all. We're going to stick to that. I mean, we've had that swag the whole entire season. I mean, we just didn't play one, great game, and we've been playing, really good ball. So, I mean, it happens. It's the NFL. Guys get paid too. We just got to stick to the script, like I said, and just, trust each other out there and just, continue to have great practices. I mean, it happens sometimes. Luckily, we had an offense that was out there to have our back. It's complementary football. We're definitely going to be better on defense, but, it's not difficult. We never get too high for ourselves. We know the room we got, and even in a game like that, we know what we're capable of. So we'll fix it this week.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Daryl.
Yeah, Greg, are you running out of things to say about Myles Garrett? And just what's it like when you see him just take over a game the way he did in that first half?
No, we were joking about it yesterday. We had grabbed some food after the game. I was like, that's why you get paid the big bucks. But nah, man, he's amazing. I said it before. He's the best defensive player in the league, and he's gonna go down as one of the greatest defensive players to ever play the game. So so glad to have him on our team. And a guy like that was able to make so many plays for us out there and bail us out a few times. So it's just amazing to have him on our team.
And a question on a couple of those long pass plays. Two of them went for touchdowns. The 75-yarder was a result of some missed tackles, but that first touchdown looked like a rare miscommunication. That's something we've not seen from this year. Is that what happened on that particular play? And how do you guys make sure that that doesn't happen again?
No, it wasn't a miscommunication. We all knew what we were in. It's just when we get stuff like that, we gotta, as a secondary, we gotta realize, our guys up front are gonna attack. We're gonna drop. We're gonna have some offsides. We know that. I mean, those guys are trying to get out, get out there and get to the quarterback. So we're gonna have some of those things. But as a secondary, we gotta realize when those things do happen, we gotta find a way to, get deep, because at the end of the day, it's a free play. So that's definitely on us as a secondary. We didn't have a miscommunication on that play. We just gotta, keep our eyes better and play with better technique.
Okay, thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Ashley.
Hey, Greg, it just seems like watching this defense this year, like the mentality just feels so different. Like if something goes wrong, you guys always seem to bounce back. You bend, don't break, all of that. I mean, I guess, do you feel like that change from your earlier years in the league to now to this year? Does something feel really different, I guess?
For sure. I just think it's just the confidence we play with. Like we playing with so much confidence. Obviously, we gave up 30-some points, but honestly, on the sideline and on the field, you wouldn't be able to tell. Like on the sideline, we're still pumped. We're still jacked. We want to go back out there. We want to go make plays. So it's just so great to see, you know, from a defense that obviously didn't have our best day, but at the end of the day, we didn't flinch, and we made enough plays for us to get the win. So it definitely feels a lot different. We're just a lot more confident.
Do you think it's like the part that Jim plays in that, plus like the new guys? Like, is it all like, it doesn't seem like there's one root cause of that confidence? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I would say it's a multitude of things. Obviously, Coach Schwartz is at the forefront of this. I think he's, you know, given us so much confidence, and even him on the sideline, you know, he's next play, make a new play, you know. So guys we're not dreading on the sideline because we're giving up plays. We're continuing to play, but I think Coach Schwartz is at the forefront of that energy that we bring.
All right, next we'll go to Scott.
Hey, Greg. Obviously, when you talk about the confidence not being shaken, when you look at how the Colts were able to have some success yesterday, did you feel like they showed anything that you guys might be vulnerable to moving forward?
Not really. It just really comes down to, you know, just attacking up front and then us as a secondary. I mean, we haven't given up that many explosive passes, you know, the whole entire season and we given up, I think might have been 3 or 4 that game. So that's definitely on us in the back end. We got to play better. You know, we're going to play some man. We're going to do some things like that. And when we play man, we got to win. And, you know, Coach Schwartz is confident in us to win. So at the end of the day, we just got to find a way to win. And, you know, as a secondary, we're going to be better next week.
And when you talked about the offsides and then having to keep playing, like, do you feel like guys let up for a second because you could tell that Miles jumped on those 2 plays?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even me personally, like I seen it and we kind of just chill, but, you know, we kind of got to have that mindset, you know, when they do jump, get deep, you know, because they're just going to throw one up and whether it's complete or not, it's going to be their ball anyways, or even if we pick, it's still going to be their ball. So, yeah, we just can't get complacent on those plays.
Thanks.
All right, next we'll go to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Greg, I have 2 things for you real quick. The first one is you've been super supportive of Deshaun and making sure that everybody knows that, you know, you guys, he's got, you know, you guys have his back and all that kind of stuff. So just wondering, did you have any words of encouragement for him or anything when he was over there on the sideline, kind of being disappointed he couldn't be out there helping you guys win?
No, I was just, man, we got your back. I tell him that every time, and I tell that to every quarterback and every offensive player that, you know, walks off that field. We got your back no matter what. We obviously support him. So that was just the only words I always tell him, we got your back.
And just also wondering, like in the life of a cornerback, when the game is on the line like that, you know, did you almost in a way feel for Burks for getting those, you know, those calls at the end? Because, you know, sometimes they can go either way and they decide the game. I mean, what's it like to have to live on the edge like that all the time?
Nah, it's horrible, honestly. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, you kind of can't put it in the hands of the officials. So just that's why we kind of preach, you know, being technically sound and keeping our hands low and things like that. Because at the end of the day, that's just how the league is now. You know, a lot of those 50-50 calls are going to go to the offense. So you just kind of got to find a way to, you know, be a technician and, you know, don't play with your hands. Don't be as grabby.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll take 2 more. First one from Brendan.
Hey, Greg, I asked Wyatt this too, but you've got a different perspective because you're playing an entirely different position. What is it like to play in a game that has 8 lead changes, that feels like it is constantly hanging in the balance and you are constantly in a spot where you got to make a play?
Yeah, honestly, it's not fun. Obviously, we would love to win the game by 30 every single time and be easy. But honestly, those are moments that I live for. And as a defense, we live for that, you know, finding a way to get that one stop. because there are going to be games where teams are scoring, we're scoring. It's a battle, but it's whoever can make that one play to win the game. So, you know, when it's games like that and we get to get on the field and get our offense to stop and get them the ball back, we live for moments like that. So it's definitely not fun at all. I'll tell you that. I'd rather win the game by 30 or you know, make sure the game is over already. But, you know, when we're out there, we're just like, you know, let's get the ball back for offense.
Take us inside your mentality and which is more difficult for you when you're playing in a game like the one you just played that can be mentally exhausting because you can't seem like you take a play off, or is it more difficult when a situation pops up where you've got to turn the switch on and maybe you've been on cruise control because you got a 20-point lead for a bit?
More difficult. I would say they're both kind of difficult. Honestly, this one, I mean, when our offense is rolling like that, I mean, I'd rather be in this situation knowing, you know, we get that one stop, get them the ball, they're rolling, you know. So they're both pretty difficult though, for sure.
All right, and last one from Cam.
We talk about complementary football and even on the defense, how you guys boost each other up and keep that confidence. But when you are on the sideline and you're seeing the offense get that game-winning drive, or the Corey Bojorquez give you guys good field position, Dustin Hopkins make a really good field goal, what do you say to those members of the Browns, and how does that kind of play into how you guys go out there as a defense and want to play for them?
Yeah, we just say, man, love you guys. We got each other back. I mean, you know, Kareem constantly comes over to us. We got you guys. Get us a stop. Like, that's just how we are as a team. You know, if they get stopped, we tell them, don't worry, we got you. We're going to get you the ball back. So I think it's just that complementary football and just us being honestly a band of brothers. I feel like we all are so close on both sides of the ball. And when one side of the ball is not playing well, like the defense wasn't playing that well, the offense is coming to us saying, look, just get us a stop, get us the ball back. We're going to win it. So I love being on this team, and it's definitely complementary football.
Thanks.
All right, that wraps us up. Thanks, Greg.
Cheers, you guys.